All right, so UFC just got done with UFC 297 in the books, done and new. Honestly, that's not where I was thinking, but the Drake curse is very real. Drake put a couple $100,000 on Sean Strickland to win, and as we know, usually who Drake picks, he loses a lot of money. He's got a gambling problem. He needs to call 1-800-GAMBLER. First of all, I want to say congrats to my friend and teammate Chris Curtis getting the job done. I honestly, going into that fight, had no idea what was going to, or I'm sorry, not going into the fight, going into that decision, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know who got it. There was a few fights on the card tonight that were just really hard to be judges. And, I think the judges got the right scorecards on the main events. But Chris was able to get the job done. And I'm super proud of him, super happy for him. And congratulations, brother. Just an interesting fight, just a good fight, throwing a lot of body shots. He was hitting him with a lot of stuff. I thought for sure one of those hooks, Chris, he's got a southpaw stance, so he comes up, he dips, and he comes up with kind of that overhand hook. And I thought for sure one of those was going to hit that guy, but it wasn't able to get it done. But wasn't able to get the finish. But he definitely got the decision, and I thought the judges made the right call, but I honestly didn't know what was going to happen there. Move on to the main event, and man, this was they said it was going to be a war, and it was everything but the kitchen sink. I mean, this was a battle, tit for tat. Going into the second round, Sean clearly won that first round, and it was pretty evident to me, my wife, Sean's going to run away with this. Sean has a pace. So Sean, if you guys don't know, Sean spars almost every day. He goes at about a 70% pace. He doesn't go lower than that, and he doesn't go, crazy. You're not going to see him throwing a lot of spinning elbows, lunging out like Yoel Romero and trying to get a huge knockout. It's 70% consistently. Sean does grappling and he does wrestling just so he doesn't have to use it, so nobody can use it against him. Unfortunately for him tonight, Dricus was able to get him down a couple of times, and I honestly think that some of those takedowns might have been the difference between the decision, because again, just like Chris Curtis, my other teammate, it was a close one. And one of those fights where I didn't want to be a judge. I didn't know what was going to happen, and you kind of just flip a coin and see what happens. Sean looked really, really good going in the second round. Sean looked great the whole fight. Both guys did. Where I was surprised is Dricus's pace. I thought for sure, okay, Dricus he's finished everybody. He is going to lapse out at the fourth and fifth round. There's no way. His amount of muscle mass that he's got, the pace that he puts on, and just some of the explosive movements he was doing. He was throwing spinning back fists. His kicks were a lot harder. And I thought, okay, this is really going to wear on him moving forward. And it didn't. He really, I mean, I was surprised. And let me know in the comment section if you guys were too. This was like, I mean, this pace that he put on he weaponized it. Sean has been so dominant, being able to consistently just jab, cross, throw simple things, keep guys upright in the boxing. And Dricus did a lot of movements that Sean was not. He used a lot more energy. Unfortunately, he took the Whoop band off before the fight, but I would have liked to seen how many calories he burned compared to Sean in this fight. I mean, his output was really high level. And I think that's where he won the fight, was he just put on a pace that, unfortunately Sean just wasn't, I don't think, expecting, that pace consistently. I think he thought he was going to fade in the fourth and fifth round, and he just didn't. And so good on him. Seems like a super humble dude, man. I've never met Dricus. He seems like somebody that, type of person that you congratulate, and you're like, man, this guy should be famous. This guy should be a champion. This guy is a role model, at least in some of his approach to certain things. Obviously, press conferences get a little out of hand here and there, and some things that he said about Sean's father. But good on him. Great fight. unbelievable. I don't see a rematch happening immediately. I do think Khamzat Chimaev is probably next. If not, Israel Adesanya for Dricus. It's kind of hard to put Israel in there with Dricus, especially after Sean has, beat Israel as bad as he did. So I'm guessing they're probably going to put Khamzat in there. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see Sean and Dricus fight again. If they both win their next fights, I think you're probably looking at a rematch between those two. But that's the key, though, is they have to win their next two fights. They each have to win their next fight to even be in the conversation, I think. I don't see them rematching them immediately. If Khamzat's not in the picture, that's probably what's going to happen. But he presents such a different skill set that nobody else in the division does. And I think that's probably where the UFC is going to be looking. A little bit smaller guy for the weight class, bump it up from 170, but I think he fills it out pretty decently. And he's got that wrestling pedigree to where I think the UFC is probably going to probably start trying to make that matchup maybe Monday or Tuesday. But ultimately, great night of fights. Raquel Pennington also won the vacant title. Good on her. Did not expect that. Thought that Bueno Silva was going to run away with it. But Raquel did a good job, threw some really nasty hands, was in some bad positions a few times, and came back. The only thing I'll say is, I didn't understand why she didn't step over with that head and arm choke. It didn't make any sense to me. I don't know what she was trying to go for. I don't know if she has a jiu-jitsu background and she just kind of landed in it. It looked like Bueno Silva really wanted to tap, but there was no way that she could make believe that was a good choke that would have actually tapped somebody. So good on her. Neil Magny at the very last second. All Malo has to do is get beat up for 15 more seconds. He wins the fight. Neil Magny came back and with an incredible finish. Man, just what an exciting moment, I guess, because I did not expect that. And then the first fight, Brendan Allen obviously took his took his third loss, but maybe first loss in the UFC, I believe. But good fight. Both guys fought really well. And again, I think it was just the takedowns. I think the takedowns made the big difference there. But ultimately, great night of fights. Congratulations to the new champion. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment what you want to see next. So, thank you guys.